Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. I'm here to talk about Young Rock Season 1. I just finished watching the entire season and I'll be giving you a spoiler review. I was initially watching this show episode by episode and giving you a weekly review, but the MCU shows were taking my priority and I was getting a little bit burnt out having to do the Young Rock as well, so I decided to leave this for a season review. Now, anyone who's a fan of wrestling, knows about wrestling, was a fan of wrestling, will very much enjoy this show. Dwayne Johnson himself is more than just a wrestler, he's an international movie star. So this show should transcend, especially for people who are, or were, like myself, wrestling fans. When you're seeing the casting choices for the people playing wrestlers of yesteryear, people like Andre the Giant, I mean, to find somebody to play him is pretty much impossible, but they found a really good actor to play him. You know, the Macho Man Randy Savage, a fantastic choice of actor to play him, not just looks like him, but sounds like him too. The Wild Samoans, fantastic casting choices. Junkyard Dog as well. Ricky Steamboat was a decent one. There's so many great casting choices, and it just makes you feel warm inside, knowing about these guys at a younger, when they were, in their prime. Seeing that these guys were faces and heels in the ring, but in hotel rooms, they're fucking playing poker together. Iron Sheik as well, fucking brilliant. Love Iron Sheik. What a great casting choice as well. And in 1982, in Young Rock's life was pretty good. Wrestling was starting to boom, and his family was making money. But we also see him in 1987 when he's a teenager, and unfortunately for him, Rocky Johnson never really made it as a big name wrestler, and he's now wrestling in flea market matches. His mum's become a cleaner. Life is a little bit difficult, especially for young Rock Dwayne Johnson as a teenager, because he was living the good life in 82 and now he's living the shit life in 87. We also see his life in 1990, where he's now starting to become a man, and he's also in university and he's doing college football, because he wants to be in the NFL. Now, when this show is portrayed to us, we start in the year 2032, and Dwayne Johnson himself is running for president, and he's having Randall Park interview him as well, and we get some really good humorous scenes between the two of them. Who knows, maybe Dwayne Johnson might run for president one day, but it's really cool. We also get some really interesting cameos as well. Oh my god, I forgot her name. Rosario Dawson, she's in this, and she's playing the potential vice president, and she's a tiny a bit loopy, a little bit weird, and it's pretty cool seeing her in that role. She's playing a fucking general as well, hilarious. But the humor, like I said, the back and forth between Randall Park and Dwayne Johnson is great. Dwayne Johnson obviously is playing himself and seeing him run for president, and he's talking about his life all the time, and that's when we get to the montages, not the montages, but the flashbacks to his life as a kid, and that's how it all pans out. The show itself is not linear. We don't just start in 1982, then jump to 87, then to 1990. With each episode, Dwayne Johnson himself, when he's running for president, and when he brings up his stories, he'll just mention a particular period, a particular time, and we go back to that time for that particular episode. So one episode might start in 1987, and then the next episode might be 1990, and then the next episode might be 1982. We just jump back and forth between those periods. We do see some dots getting connected as well, because in 1987, all he wanted to do was chase chicks. That's all he gave a shit about. He didn't want to be a high school footballer, but he was a big boy in 1987, and a lot of people thought he was a man. So when all these high school coaches see him, they are desperate for him to become a high school, a high school footballer, and he eventually does that. And then obviously we then cut to 1990, and we see him taking up, college football a lot more seriously. There's a lot of heart in this show. The humor is great. Is great. The acting is fantastic. As I said earlier, some of the the casting choices it's mind blowing how good it is. Episode 7, without doubt, the best episode of this show. The homage to action movies and the way things panned out during the course of that episode had me in fucking stitches. But there's a little bit of drama here and there. But we all know things are going to be great at the end for the Johnson family, because as we know, Rocky Johnson is one of the most famous men in the world. I apologize. Did I say Rocky Johnson? I meant Dwayne Johnson. Anyways, Young Rock, I recommend watching this. I give the show 8 out of 10. It's really good. It's really fucking good. I Can't wait for the next season. The first season ended really well. The final episode itself, every episode had like a different period of his life, and we just stuck to that year. But the final episode, we saw a little bit of 82, a little bit of 87, and a little bit of 90. So we kind of saw a lot of things being wrapped up from all those periods as well, which is pretty cool. Watch this show if you like Dwayne Johnson. Watch this show if you like wrestling. Watch this show if you did like wrestling and you still have, a romance for it for when it was a time when you thoroughly fucking enjoyed it, which I do. I fucking hate wrestling now, but I did like it at one point, which is why I like this show. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment as well. Let me know what you think. Take care. Bye-bye.